Hey everybody, Charles here. Welcome to Backroads Living. First, let me say thank you for stopping by. We really appreciate each and every one of you. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about what to buy when the food runs out. And not just what to buy, but where to buy it. Because sometimes that can be as much of a headache as anything. So hang in there, and we'll be right back. Thanks again for stopping by. If you like our channel, be sure to subscribe. Hit that bell icon when it appears if you want to be notified of our uploads as we upload them. And give us a thumbs up. Click that thumbs up button there, and it helps us with our reach on YouTube. YouTube puts us in more people's feeds when you like our channels. And be sure to leave your comments and thoughts on what we talk about. We value that. And many of our followers here, many of the folks who have already subscribed to our channel, enjoy reading your thoughts and discussing these things. So be sure to leave your thoughts and go through the comments and leave comments on other people's thoughts. So keep that in mind, and we'll get right on into this. What to buy when the food runs out. And sometimes it's just as important where to buy it. Because when the food runs out, things can get tough. I remember when this thing first started back in March and April, and we went to Walmart, which was our largest store in our county, and the shelves were just basically empty of all the mainstay foods that we normally buy, things like salt and sugar, canned meats, flours, the staples, as you might call them. Pastas and those kind of things were just they'd just been bought out. Toilet paper, paper towels were gone, Kleenex were gone, cleaning material, handy wipes, all that kind of stuff were just gone. Alcohol couldn't be found. Medicines like Tums and those kind of things couldn't be found. So when that happens and people get ahead of you, and the food runs out and all these things run out, you need to be able to substitute for some of those things, or maybe even find them somewhere else. And that's what we hope to go over with today, and help you be able to substitute food, substitute things that for things that you might not can find, and maybe even give you some places to look that you might not have thought of before. The first thing, and let me say that we're going to give you a bonus at the end of this. I ran across something this week that I think every prepper should have. If you own a bug out bag, you need this. So stay tuned to the end of this video. It doesn't have anything to do with the food or finding this kind of stuff, but it is something that I think everybody should have in a bug out bag or a medical bag. It's a really excellent item. So the first thing I would suggest that we do is go to the lesser shop stores. Because Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart's, all the big box stores, all the big Kroger's, all that kind of stuff is the first place people go when there's a food shortage. Or if they think there's going to be a food shortage, they go to those places and they clean them out. So my suggestion to you is, if you've been left out of that first rush and you haven't been able to find that stuff, and you can't find it at these places, is try office supply stores, try dollar stores, discount stores like the Dollar Tree and Family Dollar and stuff like that. Large pharmacies like Walgreens, they're going to be more expensive, but they do have food. Grocery stores for things other than food. I know when you think of grocery stores, you don't normally think of toiletries and tools and cooking utensils and paper goods and pet food and stuff like that, but they carry all that stuff. Any decent sized grocery store has all those things, and they don't always get bought out in the first rush. Places like Target and Big Lots, they're secondary stores, and they don't always get hit hard in the first rush, so they may still have some of those staples left that you need. Hardware stores even can have things that you might need. Who knows? You just need to check these places out. And if you run out of water, we pray you never do, because you have to have water to sustain yourself. I've got a video on that on our YouTube channel here about water. And without water, you're only going to be able to last 3 or 4 days at the most. So you have to have water, or you have to have something with water in it. And if you can't find water, buy sports drinks like Gatorade. That's a water source. Gatorade has water in it, flavored or sparkling water. Even if it's not a flavor you care for a whole lot, it's got water in it. Purchase that. Juice boxes or individual bottles of juice. Those things are made with water. All of that's got water in it. Vegetable juice has got water in it. The pre-made iced teas, people don't think about stuff like that. They make gallons of iced tea that's sitting on the grocery shelves, and sometimes in Walmart or places like that. Well, that's got water in it. It may not be pure drinking water, but it's got some water in it and can sustain you for a while until you can get out to find water. So think about those kind of things. And the little boxed juices that people buy for their kids' lunch boxes that's got the little straws in them, you might be able to find some of those to tide you over. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's in a liquid form like that, it's going to have some water in it. And while you're in those places, think about things that you can purchase to store water in. If you don't already have jugs and things at home to store water in, look for things that you can put water in and store it, that you can seal it off. You can find canisters and jars and jugs and all kinds of things at these places sitting on the shelves. And one of the things that is great for storing water that Sandy and I used some was 2-liter water or 2-liter pop bottles. You can store water in those, keep them inside out of the sun, and they last indefinitely. And those bottles and those jars and stuff like that, if you can get them that'll seal good, you can use them to store stuff like beans and rice and pasta and stuff like that in too. So they serve a double purpose there. So if you can find that kind of stuff, you need to get a hold of it and put it back if you've got room for it. Another thing that runs out pretty quick is the boxed meals, things like hamburger helper and mac and cheese and anything like that all you have to do is bring home and throw some water in it and pitch it on the stove or throw it in the microwave, and you've got a meal in 15 or 20 minutes. And those things are gone in a hurry. The frozen foods like pizzas and those kind of things, they get bought up the first thing in these rushes, and they just get gone. So you can buy plain pasta and cheese sauce off the shelf and make your own mac and cheese. Of course, you're going to have to cook the pasta for a few minutes, whatever the box directions are, but you can cook that pasta, add you a little bit of seasoning to it, and put you some cheese sauce in it, and you've got mac and cheese, just like you get it out of the box. One of the things that's important to have with some of these meals is milk, so buy you some powdered milk. That's something that's shelf stable also, that you can use and keep for a long time. And the ramen noodles, they get gone in a hurry, and a lot of people eat ramen noodles. I like ramen noodles. I know they're not maybe real healthy for you, and they're not going to have a whole lot of sustainability in them when it comes to long term, but they'll fill you up for an evening, keep you from going to bed hungry of the night. So for ramen noodle, you can use what they call the angel hair pasta. You can cook it to the box directions, add you a little bit of soy sauce and some garlic powder, onion powder, things like that, and you can have you stuff just like ramen noodle. Basically the same thing, and the sauces and stuff makes it taste really good. Learn to cook regular pasta or rice to replace the hamburger helper. Those pre-made meals are going to get gone. Add some marinara sauce to your pastas and rices. Spices of any kind that you've got on hand to spice them up will make them taste so much better. Even mushroom soup would be good in that kind of stuff. I use mushroom soup with, and I know that we're talking about if you're out of this stuff, but we use mushroom soup in a meal we fix with rice and broccoli and canned chicken. And man, it's really good. The can of mushroom soup or the cream of chicken soup, that kind of stuff makes these meals so much better. So any of that kind of stuff to add to something like that makes the meal better. Now, rice is just hard to replace. If it's gone, it's just gone. And I really don't know what to tell you to do to replace rice. So check out your stores, and if you have rice available, buy it. the white long grain rice, buy it and put it back. It's shelf stable. It's long-term storage. If you can't find it, if you can't get it at your stores, then order it through Amazon. I've got a link right here that I can add to the description that you can find 15-pound bags of rice on Amazon. Canned meats are gone. What are you going to do then? Well, you're going to have to do without the meat, so you're going to have to substitute it with something. What about canned beans of any kind? You can use canned beans, like refried beans, baked beans, whatever it might be. Beans are a good source of protein, just like meats are, so keep that in mind. V8 juice, it's healthy for you. Get that. You can make soup out of V8 juice. You can make tomato soup like that out of it. Canned potatoes, we've got a lot of canned potatoes, and we plan on buying more. But you know, canned potatoes can be pretty versatile also. You can take a can of potatoes and mash them up like mashed potatoes and make potato cakes with them. You can take spices, you can take onions, you can take all, you know, there's just all kinds of stuff. Cheese, broccoli bits, bacon bits, all kinds of ways to fix mashed potatoes into potato cakes. And we have a video on that also, on potato cakes, how we make them here at home, homemade potato cakes. So be sure and check that out. Buddy, potato cakes are a wonderful source of food, so keep those in mind. Watch for those while you're out. Canned potatoes. If your normal canned foods are gone, things like vegetables and stuff like that, as it was in the spring when we went to our Walmart, there was no vegetables to be found. None of that stuff. It was all gone, vegetables, and those cans of fruit and that kind of stuff had just disappeared. So watch for things like soups that are dried soups that you just add water to. A lot of that kind of stuff, if it's not a normal type of soup that everybody eats all the time, like chicken noodle or beef or things like that, it may be a different flavor or a different brand or a different style or something. Watch for that stuff. Listen, anything beats nothing. If you can just throw a little water in a soup like that, the one we bought took like 8 cups of water. Well, that would do Sandy and myself. That'd do us 2 or 3 days. We could eat out of a big bowl of soup like that for 2 or 3 days, and buddy, that would sustain you. So keep that in mind. Small cans of salsa and enchilada sauce will spice up these kind of things if you need it. Watch for those. Applesauce, peanut butter. You know, sometimes they make really small pouches of rice, and they're kind of expensive, and people go over those because of the expense of them, but something beats nothing in situations like this. Buy the small packages of rice if you can find them. Breakfast cereals, granola bars, jerky, candy, vegetable chips, potato chips, pre-popped popcorn, fruit cups, Vienna sausages, pre-cooked bacon. All these things I mentioned here are shelf stable, and they're going to sustain you if you can find them for a little while. And it beats having nothing. Okay, and look in all the aisles for these things. Don't just look in the aisle where it normally is and then quit. But try other areas of the store. Who knows where they may have put this stuff? If it's a big store, a big grocery store, or something like that, it's untelling where you may find this stuff. It may be on the far side of the store from what it normally is, or they may have a little display of it out somewhere. So keep your eyes out for that. And don't forget, when you have comments or you have suggestions as we're doing these videos, please feel free to leave your comments and suggestions. If you have questions, please ask questions. If I don't know the answer to it and can't find the answer to it, there's a lot of folks that follow this channel that are very intelligent when it comes to prepping. And man, they've got all kinds of knowledge, and they can help you with a lot of this stuff if you have questions. So keep that in mind. Be sure and do that. What if you get to the store and the toilet paper's gone, the paper towels are gone? What are you going to do? Well, everybody has to use the bathroom. That's just a sad fact, but it's a fact. First thing I do is look at the office supply stores. Like I mentioned before, the Office Depot, Home Depot, any of these places, Staples that supply offices, because sometimes they carry that kind of stuff. If they don't have it, look for Kleenexes that are unscented and untreated. You just want plain paper Kleenex. You don't want the treated Kleenex. And if worse comes to worse, put you back some cotton rags. I know it's not a good thought, But you know, people use cotton diapers on babies for decades before Pampers ever came around. Disposable diapers weren't heard of when I was a child. People used cotton diapers. They changed them, they washed them, they dried them, and they used them again. And if worse comes to worse, you can do the same thing. Just keep your bucket of water beside you, toilet there, and I don't think I have to explain to you what you have to do. But anyway, you know, if worse comes to worse, you can do that. And if an emergency situation arose and you got caught outside, you can use a 5-gallon bucket if you needed to for a toilet. There's just all kinds of things you can do. But another thing that runs out real quick is bleach. So I would suggest right now, as soon as you can get to the store after this video, go to Walmart or Costco or any of these places like this that sells bleach, and look for those bleach tablets. Look for the bleach tablets. You can make 4 gallons of bleach for the cost of 1 gallon using those tablets. Yeah, they're about $3 for a bottle of tablets. And I think a gallon of bleach right now is $4 or a little more, and you can make 4 gallons of bleach with a bottle of tablets. So that's an excellent buy on that. There's no need to run out of bleach. If you have tablets available, go get you some now. One thing I do want to clear up again, this is the second time I've mentioned it, I think, but I want to emphasize this. Do not use cleaning bleach that you've made with those tablets to try to purify water. It's just, it don't have the right chemical in it to do that. It could be dangerous, so don't do that. You need to use regular Clorox bleach to do that with. Let's see, all kinds of office supply stores have cleaning supplies. Again, they'll no doubt be more expensive, but at least you'll have what you need if you can find them there. Check the grocery stores, the Dollar Trees. As I said, purchase the bleach tablets and make your own. Another thing that ran out early at Walmart and some of these other places was over-the-counter medications, aspirins, sinus medication, heartburn medication, all that kind of stuff was, you know, got bought out fast. And those are things you need to check at the Dollar Trees, the Family Dollar, again, the grocery stores. They have that kind of stuff. It's going to be more expensive, but they do have it. And everybody doesn't think to look at a grocery store for this kind of stuff. And if worse comes to worse, check out the truck stops. If you have a local truck stop nearby, they may have packets of aspirin if you need aspirin bad enough, or the gas stations may also have those things. So be sure and check on those things also. So that's kind of a list of things that we wanted to talk to you about this evening as far as the grocery stores and box stores are concerned, about things that run out early and what to buy and where to buy it at. So keep those in mind. And again, I can save this, and I will save this list of things here. And if you don't have a way of copying it off of your computer and you would like a list of these things, you can email us in the link we've got in our description, and I'll be glad to send you a copy of this. It's no problem at all. But the last thing I said we had a bonus for you is that people need in their bug out bags and or medical bags, their first aid kits, is cheesecloth. And let me stop right here and say again that if you like our videos, be sure to subscribe to them and like, give us a like, hit that thumbs up button, and ring that bell when it comes up, and you'll be notified of our videos as we post them. And share us with your friends on social media. The more interaction we get on our video from you, our viewers, the more exposure YouTube gives us across their channel. And we appreciate when you do that. We really do. We appreciate you all very much. So the last thing I want to talk about right here was cheesecloth. Now I know this, like I said, this doesn't really have anything to do with the topic of the video, but I ran across this and I wanted to share it with you because I may not put it in anything else I do anytime soon. But cheesecloth, folks who raise farm stock, they're familiar with cheese stock. If they have milk animals such as goats and cattle and things like that. Because they use it when they're making their cheese and when straining their milk and things to make cheese. But it can be used for much more than just making cheese. So preppers can use cheesecloth. Really use cheesecloth if you're going to be out and be in a situation where you can use it. The first thing, let's look at, it can be used as a head and face covering. If you're in a situation where you're put in a place where there's mosquitoes and flies and gnats and things like that, and you really can't get away from them, you can use cheesecloth as a face covering. You can hang it right over you. It'll cling right down on your clothes and lay on your clothes and keep the bugs out, keep the mosquitoes out, and it'll protect your face from bites and things like that. Another thing is your food. If you're out and you're in a place where you can't get away from it, and you have a lot of insects bothering your food, you can cover your food with this and keep the insects out of your food with cheesecloth. It's a good thing too to drape over your food if you're outside on your patio or things like that. You can drape that over things to keep the bugs and gnats and stuff like that out of your food when you're having cookouts. But I had seen one person that had used this. They were drying meats. Now I know most of you will never do this or never have to do it, but back in the day, people would dry meat in the sun on really super hot days, and this person used cheesecloth to drape over their meat to keep the gnats and things like that from bothering their meat while it was drying. Another thing is for gauze, for bandages. You can fold up a piece of cheesecloth, and it's extremely soft. It's not real irritable to a wound, and it makes a wonderful wound dressing. It's flexible, so it moves with your arm. If you've got like an elbow problem or something on a knee or a joint, it's great for stuff like that. In emergencies, if you have a window busted out or a glass in a door busted out, like if we had a national emergency of some kind, or even a local emergency, tornadoes, hurricanes, storms, whatever it might be, you have windows or glass busted out, you can hang that over your window and glass to keep gnats out, but still yet, and mosquitoes out, flies out, but still yet let air in your house. If if your air conditioner's out and you need to do something like that, you can make fishing nets, like a dip net. All you have to have is a forked stick, some string or wire, and you can have a fish dip net made out of it. You can also make a bag out of it to carry your fish or your supplies in if you needed to, some kind of meat or something. And if you have the real tight woven cheesecloth, you can fold it a few times and use it to filter water with. It'll catch the sediment out of the water, the small pebbles or the sand or things like that. So cheesecloth is just a really good thing to have. You can also use it for a scrubbing brush. You could take a pouch, just make a little pouch out of the cheesecloth, fill it with sand and small pebbles and stuff, and just use it just like a scrub brush. It'd serve the same purpose as sandpaper would if you were having to clean stuff outside. Pots and pans that had things on them that baked on that didn't want to come off, you could use that to scrape it off with. So cheesecloth is an excellent item for any prepper's backpack, bug out bag, first aid kit, etc. So if you don't have cheesecloth, get you some, and I think you'll be well pleased if you ever are in need of it to have it there. So again, thank you guys for watching our video today. Thanks for stopping in and spending time with us. We appreciate you. We love you. And as I said earlier, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Give us a like. Share us on your social media that other folks may be able to enjoy the channel and get information that you all share with us. And just remember that we all need to lean on the Lord Jesus Christ for our help in times of need, and He will sustain us. So until the next time, we'll see you in the next video.